Roll for Romance is a podcast featuring 5 friends horny for D20. Welcome to Roll for Romance, an actual play 5e D&D podcast where we're looking for love in all the role places.
I'm Emily and I'm your dungeon master.
I'm Laniver Faris, an Eladrin bard, and I change my season and gender almost daily.
I'm Hilrana Drema, Earth Genasi druid, and I may be part Jinn, but my wish is your command.
I'm Miles Gloriosus, a literal gift from the gods, perfection incarnate in Asimar paladin form, and I'm here to rock your world.
I'm Faris Divine, tiefling, fortune teller, warlock, and seeker of secrets.
Our story is set in Mirador, the capital city of the Claudian Empire. Claudia is ruled by a long line of air genasi, who descend from an alliance between Jinn and elves. Mirador is set high in the Mistral Mountains, with the city partially carved into terraces on the mountainside. Each of our PCs have found themselves in Mirador for one reason or another. But here's the thing. If this were a serious, ultra-professional fantasy podcast, I'd give you a sweeping, captivating tour of the city's delights. But who has time for all of that? I know we all want to get to the part where a group of friends shamelessly flirt with each other. So all you need to know is that they are in Mirador, which isn't Claudia. It is ruled by these air genasi, and everyone is there, and shenanigans will soon ensue. So let's get started. The cool, exciting thing that is happening right now is that the wedding of the century is tomorrow, guys. And anybody who's anybody has been invited. And that does not include you, sadly. But you are the wedding is happening, so wedding fever is just like taking over the city. The princess of the Claudian kingdom, her name is Celeste Claudia, and she is going to be married to Prince Grant Theron, and he is from the Black Cloud Islands. So there's Prince Grant is going to be the groom, and Princess Celeste is going to be the bride. So the wedding of the century is going to happen. And Hilrana, let's start with you. So you've been staying with your dad, Greg. He's been in town to kind of provide some fancy jewels and specialties to the royal family and people that are interested in buying them for attending the wedding and looking fabulous. And he, while you were staying there, received a letter addressed to a Lady Amber Theron. And upon opening it, realized that they had mistaken you, Hilrana, for Lady Amber and sent you an invitation to a bridal shower type party later in the week. We're kind of going back in time a little bit. And so your dad, Greg, shows this to you. And what would Greg's voice be like? Oh, hey there, Hilrana! How's it going? Hey, kid. It's been so great to have you here. I was just wondering, I got this in the mail. Do you know anybody named Amber?
No, I don't.
Oh, weird. Well, I mean, she was invited to some kind of bridal party. You know anything about that?
I have no idea. I could take it to the post office and maybe ask around. Is there a post office?
Probably. I don't really use the post office. I kind of just use my magic. Why am I turning southern? I don't know what's happening.
Oh, Dad, are you okay?
He's having a stroke.
Sorry, I just had a mild stroke. It's fine. So anyway, kid, Theron, you know what? Maybe they think you're this Amber.
Why would they think that I'm Amber?
I don't know.
Did you have something to do with this, Dad?
No, of course not.
Okay, but
Yeah, you can roll an insight check if you want to. And your dad is making that face of like, No, definitely.
Okay.
Of course, I would never do that.
Ugh, I got a insight. Yeah, I got a 3.
Well, your dad got a 2.
Oh, wait, that was a 7.
So,
Sorry, that was,
okay, there you go.
It wasn't a 1. It was a 9.
Okay, so your dad, you definitely can tell that your dad is not telling you the truth. And you know you don't see your dad that often, but you know that he lies kind of frequently and is not good at it.
He's tricksy.
Of course not, sweetie. I don't know anything. Why would you think that?
Dad. Okay, so what's going on?
Okay, fine. I'll tell you. So I heard through the grapevine that you look a lot like this Lady Amber. And I was hoping to get our family an invite to the wedding. And so I figured you say, oh, I was invited to this bridal shower. But I'm not, and I'm a distant cousin of Prince Theron, and they didn't invite me to the wedding, but I would love to come. Maybe you could charm them and we could get an invite.
So you want me to charm them by lying to them?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so let's say that I do go to this shower and pretend to be Lady Amber, and then they find out that I'm not Lady Amber. That could ruin your business dealings.
No, I mean, you could just be like, oh, well, I didn't read who it was addressed to. I just got an invitation.
Oh, play dumb. Okay.
Yeah, just play dumb.
Okay.
Yeah. And then be like, oh, and I also didn't get my invite to the wedding. Could you send that to me and my dad so we can make sure that we're in attendance? Because we're cousins of the prince.
All right. Why not? It could be fun.
Oh, sweetie, I'm so glad you're willing to do this. You're such a good daughter. I just love you so much. And he takes his really big kind of burly, stony arms and gives you a crushing hug.
Dad.
Oh, sorry. That's a bit too tight. I'm sorry. Sorry, sweetie. Look, listen, and even if they don't buy it, you'll have a good time, hopefully. They're not gonna hurt you or anything. You'll just go to a party and meet some royalty. Get some free food.
I'm down for free food, you know that. But the minute things start getting sketchy for me, I'm backing out. I don't want anybody getting hurt, but I do think this will be fun.
I'm so glad you're willing to do this, sweetheart.
What am I going to wear?
So you and your dad continue to kind of talk about the plans for what you're going to do. So you have some time to kind of plan it and figure that out. Miles, you have been out drinking at one of your favorite establishments. Would you tend to go to someplace a bit fancier in the upper terrace, or would you like to be down more with the common folk in the lower terrace?
I think he would go with the upper terrace for now.
Okay, so you are currently having a drink at an establishment called The Lantern. You're meeting up with your friend. His name is Captain Jeremy Maxwell, and he's a member of the City Guard. You've known him since you've come to town. He's kind of like a friend of yours that you've made through kind of hanging out and drinking and getting to know people. So you're hanging out, having a drink with him, and he has been telling you a little bit about some of his interesting people that he's encountered at work. And then he takes a sip and says, Oh yeah, I forgot. Do you want to go to a party?
Of course.
Good. I figured you'd be down. So I happen to know Prince Sono. You would know that name as the brother of Princess Celeste. Her younger brother is Prince Sono. He asked me to get some people together for a bachelor party. The prince is in town. He wanted to have some kind of celebration for him, but hardly any of his relatives are here and he doesn't know anybody. So he said, Jeremy, you gotta know some people who might be fun at a party. And the first person I thought of was you. Obviously.
Obviously. Are you talking about a bachelor party for Prince Grant Theron?
Yeah, well, don't say it that loud. I don't want to invite everybody here, but yeah, it's going to be at the Beholder. And you know that the Beholder is a really, really classy, very hard to get into burlesque club.
The Beholder, that's a favorite. It's stellar dancers there.
Yeah, I heard they're renting the whole place out. They're having a big get together and a pretty rowdy time. At least that's what Prince Sonos said he was hoping for.
We can get rowdy.
I figured. So it's going to be in a couple days. And, you know, if you know anyone else you want to bring, that's great. Or, but I figured you're partying up.
Listen, I would love to get this party started for you. However, in return, I would desire an invitation to the wedding between the Princess Celeste and the Prince Grant.
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh, I have high persuasion. Not that it mattered this time. 14.
I mean, man, if I could, I would. But even I don't have an invite. Like,
That's fair.
it's mostly that Prince Sono just didn't want Grant to have, like, I guess Prince Grant or Lord Grant, whatever you want to call him. He didn't want him to, like, have a really shitty, lonely get-together.
I will make it a night to remember, or not to remember, depending on how hard we party.
Perfect.
And maybe I'll be able to persuade someone there to grant me an invitation. I would very much like to.
Yeah, I mean, both princes are going to be there, so either, maybe if you make a good impression on Prince Sono, then...
Maybe.
Yeah.
Of course I will.
Of course, I'm such an idiot. Of course you will, Miles. And you guys kind of continue to drink and talk and make plans for getting ready for this cool bachelor party. Lanny, you have been working on and off with a group of chamber musicians at different gigs throughout the city. You work with a dwarven woman whose name is Senna. She's very, very young. Maybe 16, but she's super, super talented, very professional, very, very quiet and shy. She has a very hard time talking to you.
Oh no. Oh, poor thing.
So Senna is the young dwarven woman, and she plays the flute. And then there is Keith, who plays a piano. Keith is a human man. He's probably about 45, you would guess, but looks a lot older. And you have seen him many times when heading out to a gig, meeting up, of like frantically trying to get one of his 5 children to stop clinging to him, to clean up something. He's very frequently late, but he's a beautiful, excellent pianist. And so he kind of is perpetually frazzled, but a very good musician. And so Keith actually has told you that you guys have received a job offer from Duchess Cosima.
Duchess Cosima?
You had done a party a couple weeks back where a bunch of nobility had been in attendance, and apparently she was so impressed with your performance that she had to have you. And I should do this in Keith's voice, not Emily's voice.
All right.
I don't know what Keith's voice is. Keith's voice is going to be Emily's voice. So yeah, Lanny, I got a job offer. Are you free in I think it's 3 nights from now?
Of course.
Wonderful. I got Beth to be able to take the kids. For the night, Duchess Cosima has actually been interested in hiring us. Don't tell anyone. I think it's kind of not supposed to be known where it's happening, but there's going to be a bridal shower of sorts. For the princess.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I know. This is crazy, right?
Yeah. How did you manage to get that gig?
Listen, I don't know. I mean, I guess we were at a party the other night, and it was probably about like a week or 2 ago. You remember that one with all those people, and they were like eating cheese off of a naked person, and it was really awkward, and it was like melting on his body, and it just made it real weird.
I don't think that would be something I would enjoy personally.
No, it looked disgusting.
Well, I guess you never know. All right, I'm definitely up for that.
From what I've heard, it's not like that party. She wasn't the one who threw it, but she was so impressed, I guess, by our music that she wanted to see if we were available for a gig. And yeah, so she just wants us to come in and play some music and entertain guests at this, I guess it's a dinner party?
Well, living cheese boards or no, I'm definitely willing to be there as long as they're paying well.
The smell was bad. I'm really hoping that it won't have that. I don't think that would be something fit for royalty.
True.
So Keith and you continue to discuss. Is there any questions you have for Keith about the gig? Anything you want to know to get ready?
How fancy is it going to be? What do I need to wear?
Oh, I'm going to have to go out and buy something new. My kids just spilled juice all over my finest clothes the other night. I'm thinking the best you have, honestly, Lanny. I may have to...
I might be able to fix your clothes, Keith.
Oh, you could do that? That would be great, because, like, this gig's going to pay a lot, but I don't think the advance is enough to cover, like, a really nice new suit.
Oh, yeah, I can fix them.
Oh, thank you so much, Lanny.
As long as they're not torn, I can get the stains out.
No, it just has a lot of stains in it. And Beth, we've both tried our best to get it out, but it just isn't coming out. That would be wonderful.
No problem.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, no, but dress the best you can. I think is basically it's super fancy, very nice. Oh, they did tell me that it's only the guests are only women. But I assured them that everyone was going to be very dignified and polite, and that we won't have any untoward characters at the event.
Oh, of course. Well, you're a married man.
Of course, yeah. And you're, as we all know, like, you're such a kind and wonderful person that I don't think that it'll be any. Oh God, I'm sorry. I just dropped my child. The child that he's been holding the whole time, he accidentally dropped on the ground. Oh God, I gotta get back to Beth and help her out with the kids, but...
All right, well, I'll see you 3 nights from now, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, it will be at the White Rose, and the White Rose is like a kind of boutique inn and dining place in the upper terrace.
Well, I'll stop by later to try and fix your clothes.
Thank you so much, I'd really appreciate it. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later, though.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. He has prestidigitation, so that's why you can clean things up with it.
Yes, yeah. You're so sweet. So you will help between now and then get Keith's outfit set up, get yourself ready, practice with Senna, and just get ready for this nice gig. Last but not least, Faris, you have worked at the Beholder before doing fortune telling for special parties, and you have been contacted by the proprietor of the Beholder. Chandra has contacted you. She asked you to come over to the Beholder and discuss a potential gig. So you meet with her in her office, and she says, "Hello, welcome. Faris, it is great to see you. Please sit down."
Thank you, Chandra. So, what's new?
Well, you know, same old thing. The performers are such divas, but I love them all like my own children. Anyway, except for Adonis. He can rot in the 9 hells. But he's so damn good.
He's so damn good.
He's just been driving me insane, but I figured I would bring you in because I have a potential opportunity for you.
Ooh, what's that?
Well, one of these days I'm going to get you up on the stage, but that's not what I'm asking for.
All right.
I'm looking for fortune telling at a party, a pretty big party. They're renting out the whole place.
Wow. Who's the party patron?
Well, can you keep a secret?
Of course.
Wonderful. I knew I could trust you. It's Prince Sono.
What?
He's hosting a bachelor party.
What?
I know.
Oh.
Of course,
Oh
Adonis
God.
is going to have to be there now, and that little shit. Ugh. I wish that I didn't have to hire him, but...
If you can just... Do you think he would buy it if we just told him he had to wear a gag the whole night?
Maybe. That's a good idea.
The trouble with Adonis starts when he opens his big fat trap.
You're telling me. He's so goddamn handsome, but
that booty.
Oh, that booty.
Oh. But yeah, I think you should tell him, make him a costume. Let's think of a costume that would include a gag. So maybe there's some sort of god of sex and silence.
There is the god of she's dead though. Lear was the god of war and sex. He could do a tribute to her.
That's amazing. Yeah, if you just have him walk around all night, men, women, everyone.
Prince Sono, I think, would love this. I've heard he's a bit of a rascal.
So, fortune telling. What type of fortune telling do you want me to do?
Oh, I'll leave that up to you. Maybe things that are make it a bit more exciting than usual. I know that what you do is definitely real.
Of course. But sometimes a little tweaking doesn't hurt.
Yes, just a little bit. Just make it a little bit more exciting for the guests. After all, it is the bachelor party. Oh, I didn't even tell you. It's for the soon-to-be king of, well, not soon-to-be king, but the eventual king of Claudia, Prince Grant Theron himself.
Oh my goddess.
I haven't met him. I've heard he's quite handsome, but he hasn't arrived in town yet.
Wow.
If he's wanting to have a party here, then we need to show him a good time.
And obviously, he knew the place to come, because your place is the best. I think
oh, thank you, darling.
I may skew, still real, still true, but I may skew the fortunes to be a little on the romantic side. How does that sound?
Yes, perfect.
All right, so you've got Adonis who's going to be dancing or just walking around, because either way, with that booty, it works.
I mean, I was going to have him do an act on the stage, but I could just have him serve things. He won't be happy with it. He wants to put on a big show.
Oh, honey, him just walking around is a show enough. Let's see.
Very true. I know that I've already contracted Adonis, and I also have who did I have? She looks into a notebook. Saffron Starlight I was thinking of bringing her a gig. She's a bit bubbly and fun and
gorgeous.
Could put on a nice, beautiful show with something with a bit more class. And then
yes.
Prince Sono himself requested a special act, which you don't. I don't know if I should tell who it is.
Oh my gosh, you have to tell me.
No, I shouldn't.
Oh,
he wanted it to be a secret.
Oh, no.
You can make a persuasion check if you want to.
Definitely. Well, I got a natural 1, so I'm shit out of luck.
She kind of looks at you and says, I'm sorry, dear. As much as I appreciate you and your work, I just couldn't possibly ruin a secret. I've heard that you tend to spread rumors about.
Well, guilty as charged sometimes, but how about this? If I can use my magic fortune telling to figure out who the special act is, will you confirm? I won't tell.
I really shouldn't. I could get in trouble. I could lose the gig.
Ooh, that's so interesting. Okay, because we're such good friends, and because, yeah, sometimes I can tell secrets out of excitement, not malice. But
Of course.
I'll just try to be patient. Ooh, it's going to be hard, though. Can you imagine all the beautiful people who are going to be here for this amazing party?
It's going to be a night to remember.
I thank you for inviting me so much.
You're welcome. We can discuss payment another time. I actually have some work to get to, but thank you. I appreciate it, Faris.
Sure, babe. Toodaloo.
Bye. It is the evening of the bridal shower, and it's really nice out. The sun has just set, and the guests are beginning to arrive. Lanny, you would have gotten there a little bit ahead of time and set up and kind of gotten everything ready. The main dining room of the White Rose is very pretty. It is kind of has lots of wood paneling and like this kind of white-ish color and like mirrors on the wall, and there are beautiful flower arrangements everywhere, and it's very pretty and elegant, but a bit over the top. Definitely very ostentatious.
Old school rich people.
Like old school rich people, exactly. It's a bit like an old person and also way over the top gaudy. Duchess Cosima has been kind of greeting people as they enter, and kind of coming into the room and telling them where their seat is. And she sees you enter, Hilrana, and says, hello. It's wonderful to meet you. You must be Lady Amber.
Oh,
Lady Amber Theron, it's just such a delight.
Oh, well, I got this invitation here.
Yes, wonderful. I'm so glad you were able to receive it. I wasn't sure about the address, so I decided to kind of reach out to some friends, and they said they thought they saw you there, so I'm so glad that you got it. I'm so glad that you're going to be here this evening. I know that Prince Grant, a lot of his family, wasn't able to come, and I just wanted to embrace anyone who could come and get to know the family a little bit better.
I'm so glad to be invited. Thank you so much. This place is beautiful.
Oh, I'm so glad you like it. I just spent, weeks, months on figuring out the decorations and making sure everything was just right.
Well, you did a fabulous job. No one could have pulled this off like you. You're so talented.
Oh, thank you, my dear. She kind of grabs your hands a little bit, and it's like, oh, that means the world to me. I've worked so hard on this, and I just really don't want to screw it up. Thank you. Thank you. Well, anyway, there are more guests, and please have a seat. And she gestures to a little seat with the name Lady Amber Theron, with a little name card on it. And you are seated kind of middle-ish of the table. There is a human woman with really long, dark, shiny hair and kind of olive-y skin, and she's very striking, very well dressed, kind of in this midnight blue gown, and her little nameplate says Lady Jalessa Spear, and then on the other side of you is a Lady Mirabelle Bordeaux, who is not in her seat yet, and then across the table is a Lady Bernadette Bellingrad, who is also not seated yet. At the head of the table, it seems like it's going to be Lady Cosima on one end and Princess Celeste on the other end. And so, yeah, people are kind of milling about and talking and just kind of getting to know each other. Lanny, if you would like to make a performance check for me.
Oh gosh, I got a 24.
Lanny, you guys sound beautiful. You're really syncing together. Keith looks good in his freshly laundered and prestidigitated suit. So you guys are really sounding great. And what did you do anything in particular to prepare for tonight? Were you hoping to do anything other than play music? Is there anything on Lanny's mind?
Lanny's just hoping that he gets good tips.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And what does Lanny look like, and what is he wearing?
Well, he's wearing black because it's kind of like the chamber musicians probably dress in black so that they coordinate with each other. And he's wearing a long coat and a white shirt underneath it. And he has his hair back in a braid. His hair is actually orange right now. It's like a light red. It's in summer.
Lanny looks very striking, and you definitely, with the performance that you're doing, a few different people are coming over and like giving very generous tips, and the one is kind of just hovering over near you. She's kind of has very dark, piercing eyes and dark brown skin, and her hair is kind of up in a very, very elaborate updo that has all these flowers pinned into it, and she's wearing a dress that like has as many possible beads and bows and embellishments as possible on it. Yeah, it's like this kind of off, like slightly off-white, peachy almost gown, and she just seems like entranced by the music that you are playing. And when you finish a song, she actually like starts clapping, and then like looks around and stops herself and kind of like sheepishly puts her hands down, and then like just kind of looks at the floor a little bit.
I say very quietly, thank you.
Oh, of course. You're just such a talented musician. It's such beautiful music. I've always loved this sort of music, and I guess I should probably leave you alone so you can play more.
That's very kind of you.
A woman comes over who is very similarly dressed, looks similar, though a bit older, has a more stern look on her face, and she says, Mirabelle, come over. Stop lurking around here. Leave the musicians alone. And she's like, of course. I'm sorry, sister. And she kind of reluctantly follows her sister away from you. Meanwhile, I forgot to ask, let's get some information about what Hilrana looks like and what she's wearing this evening.
Hilrana is wearing a green dress that's kind of textured, so it kind of resembles leaves or moss or something. And she's got some flowers around the neckline, kind of like corsage. And there's jewels around the bodice, and her hair is down. It's pulled, like the front pieces are pulled back, so it's like half back. And then she has some jewels and flowers in her hair as well. Her hair is made out of really, really fine vines. So from further away, it looks like regular hair, but closer up, you can kind of tell that it's viney. And there's some little leaves in it too.
Awesome. So the woman who was lingering over by the musicians comes and takes a seat next to you, and next to her sits down the more stern looking woman. You eventually, as time, a couple minutes pass and the princess finally arrives, she is here last and everyone's kind of waiting, and they all stand up and they say, "Your Majesty," and bow to her. Do you guys do the same, or you just kind of hang out?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, yes.
I think we would get up and bow, I'm assuming.
She just kind of nods and smiles at everyone and says, "Oh, thank you all so much for coming. It's just wonderful to have you all here. I have some friends, some people I hope to get to know, and I really appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much to my Aunt Cosima for hosting this lovely evening. And let's eat. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and eat." And she sits down and like looks expectantly at the servers, who kind of go off and kind of hurry to bring food. And everybody kind of rushes to sit down and follow her lead. For the sake of time, unless you guys want to do anything particularly exciting while you're eating food, time passes. And the food is good. The conversation around you, Hilrana, is incredibly boring. It's about a lot of people. Well, maybe it's not boring to you, but to most it would be probably pretty boring. They're talking about people you don't know. They're talking about like some just things that were, the two women next to you were talking about like their estate and how they like didn't want to come but kind of were coerced to come, and like this could be so much nicer and this is such a boring party. And like then the Lady Cosima is talking, and just kind of like every once in a while she'll just kind of get up and be like, "Is everyone all right? Is everyone having a good time? Is everyone doing good? Yes, wonderful." And she'll come over to the musicians every once in a while and be like, "You're doing great. Thank you so much for playing. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, it's so great. Do you know anything that could make things a bit more interesting, exciting, fun?" And she kind of looks pleadingly at your music group, because it's just no one's really talking about anything. People are yawning at their plates, kind of looking at at the clock in the room.
I'm sure we could play something livelier if that's what you would be interested in. We have quite a repertoire.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to end the meal soon, and we'll bring out some presents, and I feel like this is just not going how I thought it would. Please, if you could play something just to not anything too crazy. I mean, I want to keep this very dignified, but if you could please just maybe play something slightly more up tempo. I don't know.
Of course, certainly. And then Lani does kind of like a 1, 2, 3 thing for the other musicians, and they start playing another song that's a little bit less dinner music-y.
Wonderful. Okay, make another performance check for me.
All right. It's going to not be as good, most likely, because I rolled really well last time. Oh no, it's even better. I got a 25.
Whoa. Okay, so the first music was so elegant and nice, and this just kind of like takes things up a notch, makes things a little bit more interesting, and you can kind of feel a little bit the energy in the room shifting as they clear the plates from the desserts. People start to get up and kind of like talk to each other and seem a bit more energized by your music. All right, it's the evening of the bachelor party at the Beholder. You have gotten there probably a little bit early, Faris, to set up, and they've given you a nice little alcove near the... Like, you can see into the main performance area, but it's isolated and it has kind of some of these draping fabrics down, and they've really done up like the mystical look of things over in your area. I think they even maybe procured like a very gaudy looking crystal ball, even though you don't use that for anything, but they're just really trying to kind of push into that. Adonis has come over as you're getting set up, and he's like, "Oh, you're here. Great."
Well, hello to you too, Adonis. I thought they were going to find a gag for you.
Nobody could gag this. And he kind of like just strikes like a beautiful pose. Adonis is a bluish, almost periwinkle colored tiefling. He is tall and kind of leanly muscled, and he has on this kind of beautiful flowing robe right now. It's not what he's going to wear for the evening, but he's kind of like his getting ready robe. And he kind of just gives you this look like disgusted and then walks off. Guests are starting to come in. Everybody's getting ready. Miles, Captain Jeremy was supposed to meet you, but he has sent word that there was an emergency and he needs to go cover somebody's shift, and he's not going to be able to make it tonight. But so please, if you want to go without him, just tell if anyone asks at the door that you were invited, your name should be on the list. Everything should be cool.
So let me know if this is okay. I was sort of hoping that he could have taken this invitation from Jeremy to make the party a party like really seriously, and hired I was picturing him coming in maybe a little bit early and having hired a bunch of like dancers and escorts and people that are painted entirely in gold to act as living statues. And like he has plans to talk to the bartender to make like custom cocktails and drinks, and like people with wild animals, like tamed wild animals, so like people with snake, like he's going all out is what he took that invitation
okay. So let's rewind back to when they were Faris and Adonis were having their snippy conversation while she was getting set up, and you arrive early at the door, and you have this retinue of people and creatures and mixmasters or mixologists, not mixmasters.
Gotta have
mixmasters. Breakdancers and everything you could imagine for
everything.
Dope ass party. I can't believe I just said dope ass. That's terrible.
Dope ass party.
That good party vibe. So they see this and they're like, there's a man at the door who's kind of a big, burly, looks like maybe he has some giant blood in him. He doesn't necessarily look like he's a Goliath per se, but he's a big beefy human dude. And he's like, sir, what is the nature of this?
Greetings, I'm Miles. You've heard of me, I'm sure. Jeremy Maxwell has he's hired my services, if you will, as a party planner, and so I'm ready to plan this party if you just open the door. We have quite a lot of setup to do, and I know the prince is set to arrive at any moment, so if you'd kindly, please move out of the way.
You're a party planner? I thought we already had stuff set up. Go ahead and make a persuasion check if you would like to. And it's not deception because you think that you're the party planner.
19.
19. He kind of looks confused and like looks down at his list and he's like, well, I see a Miles on here.
Miles.
I didn't know there were going to be guests.
Party
I didn't know you were like
planner.
planning anything. But,
I mean, they're not guests, they're hired workers.
Okay, well...
the time is wasting.
Okay, and so he takes like a little, like a pen, and he writes down party planner next to your name, and then like plus, and he looks and he counts how many people are out there, and there's like 25 people plus like a bunch of animals, and he's like, plus 25 and 2 white tigers, 1 peacock, What else is it back there? I can't see what it is.
The golden living statue people.
Yeah, I got them. Do you have any more wild animals? I'm kind of concerned about them.
Well, you got the 2 boas. You've got the 2 white tigers.
I didn't get the boas.
There's boas. Yes, of course there's boas. The peacocks. Did you get the peacocks? I got the peacocks,
yeah. I just wasn't sure if there's anything else. I got the boas. Okay, perfect.
No. Any more and they'll just fight. Which could be part of the party.
We're not that kind of establishment. Just, you can tell these people, I'm sure this is approved and everything, but just for my own sake of mine, if you could make sure that everybody keeps things non-violent.
Of course.
Keep the animals apart. We'll try to find somewhere for you to put them. This is a party, but there's gonna be royalty here. So
I know.
I don't want to be responsible for Prince Grant to be mauled the night before his wedding.
No, but you will partially be responsible for how much fun they're going to have, which you're welcome.
Well, I like that. That sounds good. All right, go on in. And he opens the curtains and lets you guys in, and you all file in. And Faris, you see this man. Describe yourself for us, Miles.
I was kind of theming the party like a Caligula kind of bacchanal, and so I'm dressed in a toga, no underwear. You might be able to tell at some points.
In certain light.
And my calves are very much showing. And I just look like just muscles everywhere. He looks good. He put oil in his beard and his hair. And he's very intense faces.
Perfect. So you see this god of a man enter in his toga, flanked by at least 24 people in all kinds of different costumes and carrying random objects and bringing in animals. As far as you know, this was not part of the plan. Okay, so what do you want people to do?
Well, if there's not VIP spaces, I want to. If there are VIP spaces,
there is already a VIP area set up, out for the prince.
So, kind of telling my favorite escorts and dancers to be near those areas. The animals, I'm trying to put them on opposite sides so they don't fight. The living statues are spread throughout, and they're just going to be making random poses.
Okay. Adonis storms out of the dressing room, and he's like, "What is the meaning of this? I am a artist. What are these peasants?" And looks at your performers and escorts and living statues doing here in my establishment.
How dare you, sir?
How dare you, sir?
No. How dare you? These are fine quality workers. They are here to make this party as glorious as the prince has been promised.
I'm going to have a word with Prince Sona when he arrives.
Please do.
I was requested especially. I am the best performer in town. How dare you? And he storms off.
Is he crying?
You can make a perception check if you want to see if he's crying.
Yeah, I want to see if he's crying. I want him to cry.
I don't care if he's crying.
8.
Yeah, you don't see any tears, but you do appreciate that ass as he walks away. It's it's hard to not check out. So anyway.
Well, I think I just have to meet this man who just stormed in here.
Yeah, and guests are beginning to arrive as you finish getting stuff set up. So yeah, you can do whatever you want.
All right, so Faris is going to start sauntering over to Miles, and her tail is sort of waving in the air like an interested cat.
Yeah, so describe what Faris looks like for us.
Faris is very buxom and voluptuous, and she has pink skin, black eyes, black hair, black horns, and her tail is skinny and black, but then it has a little pink heart on the end. So she sort of has a Betty Page do going on.
Amazing.
Yes. And she's also tonight, she's wearing a very, very tight black dress that shows a lot of cleavage. So she's gonna kind of sashay her way over to Miles and put out her hand for him to grab.
He is totally into her, and he's a little taken aback by how much confidence she has, but he grabs her hand and he will lightly kiss it and be like, Madame.
Enchanté.
Enchanté.
And who might you be?
Well, I am Miles Gloriosus.
Oh, you are definitely glorious, honey.
And who are you? You're quite enchanting.
Oh, thank you, sugar. I'm Faris. I'm just here to tell some fortunes. But if you want to give me your palm, I'll be glad to tell yours.
Oh, yes. I would love to have my palm read.
Oh, you're going to meet a woman.
You don't say.
A tiefling woman named Faris. How about that? And you are going to have the night of your life, sugar.
Oh. You were quite good at the tarot.
I'm amazing. And I have a feeling you are too.
He is totally into
I think we're all into this.
Yeah, we're all into this. This is just going to be the rest of the podcast.
Faris just talking dirty to everyone.
I wish I was better at one-liners.
Love it. As you guys are kind of having this seductive and interesting introduction, you kind of hear some noise at the door as somebody kind of comes through and says, "Holy shit, this looks amazing!" And you see this guy emerging who's wearing a nice outfit, a nice kind of doublet and pants, and he has light blue skin and kind of silvery blue hair. Behind him, and kind of a little bit lurking in the shadows, is a much beefier, a little bit shorter guy with kind of very, very dark brown skin that's like has a metallic sheen to it, and he has a shaved bald head. And he's also wearing a nice outfit, but it's much more understated. And he looks like he's just kind of like has this look of terror in his face. So this guy, the blue guy, kind of pulls this guy in, and he's like, I mean, I said I was going to show you a party, didn't I? And he claps him on the back, and he's like, come on, let's go get a drink. And then hopefully the performers will start. So you guys would probably assume, because of the striking look of the blue skin, the distinct look of the Claudian royal family, and so that's Prince Sonos, you would guess, and he is accompanied by most likely Prince Grant.
They've arrived.
Oh, Mile, score one for you, sugar. So get this party started. I'll be in the back telling fortunes.
I will be sure to send people.
Oh, please do.
Wonderful. So you guys start the party, and we're going to go back to the other group for a moment, if you guys are ready for it.
Can I get a description of Faris walking away?
Oh, yes, please.
Honey, it's like two hams fighting in the sack.
Miles is going to watch the entire time.
And Faris is going to check over her shoulder to make sure he's watching.
Yes. Amazing.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, thank you for asking that. I appreciate it. Things are getting a little bit more lively as the music has picked up. You're going to have your break in a minute, Lanny, because they're going to be giving out some presents. And so you can, they said you're welcome to kind of have any refreshments that you would like and kind of hang out for a while if you wanted to before your next set, if people decide they want to stay and maybe dance or something. The Duchess seems to maybe have thrown some of her plans out the window in an attempt to make things more exciting from what she's kind of hurriedly communicated with you. So the room is kind of cleared, and a big table that's like covered in presents is brought in. Did you bring a gift, Hilrana?
Of course I did.
Wonderful. You both can make a perception check if you want to.
I get a 20, but not a natural 20, just a 20.
17.
So I would say that probably only Lanny, you notice that as they're bringing in the presents, you see Princess Celeste kind of roll her eyes and look pointedly at the woman who had been sitting next to Hilrana, who you don't know Hilrana, but the woman with the really long dark hair and the kind of olivey skin wearing that midnight blue gown. Yeah, and she kind of, they like lock eyes meaningfully, and then like the lady with the long dark hair kind of nods, and that's the exchange that you notice. Lady Cosima goes to the front. She's like, "Oh, well, I'm so excited for everyone to see the presents that we got the beautiful bride to be, and I was hoping that maybe everyone we could go around and when she opens one of your presents, you could give her a bit of marital advice if you have any. I know a lot of you are married or have a significant other, or just anything, any good wishes that you have for the bride to be. I would just love it so much, please." And she looks at everyone, hopefully, and everyone kind of is like, "Okay, sure, yeah, of course, that's great." So why don't we do Lady Amber? What would you like to give the princess her present?
Hilrana is just looking around for Lady Amber. She forgot that she was looking. And then she realizes, oh, that's me. Okay. Yes. Here's my gift. And she hands her a box. It's a food processor. You can use it to make different things, and it also imbues your food with extra little magic to make it taste even better.
The princess takes it from you and kind of smiles graciously, warmly. Wonderful. This looks great. I'm sure that I will use this every time I prepare a meal in the future.
Excellent.
And she smiles and kind of puts it in a box and then puts it down on the ground next to her.
It's the reject box.
Yeah, this is kind of just like dumps it to the side. Thank you, Lady Amber. It's a pleasure to meet you. I really appreciate you coming all the way from Cinder Isle to be here for the wedding. I thought maybe I'd heard that you were ill, but I'm so glad that you're able to make it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm fine. But thank you for your concern.
Oh, interesting. You can make a deception check for me if you would like to. Well, not if you'd like to. I want you to make one. You must.
You must. Deceive us.
Deceive us.
10.
She kind of like narrows her eyes at you a little bit, but just kind of looks over back to Cosima. And so Cosima goes through, and there's more kind of basic wedding presents. Somebody like bought her a thing of baby clothes, and she's like, "Oh, I wasn't planning on having children for a while, but thanks so much, cousin." And the woman who had been listening to your music intently, Lanny, is like kind of blushes profusely, and she's like, I of course, I wasn't sure what to get you, and Teresa thought that it might be a good idea. And the woman who is her sister, Teresa, starts to like laugh a little bit.
Oh dear, poor thing.
Then it comes to Lady Bernadette Bellingrad's present, and she comes up and hands it in a kind of very elegant way. She's a halfling woman with kind of wheat blonde hair and just really, really pretty, sparkly eyes. And she hands it over to Princess Celeste and says, I really, really hope that you enjoy this. And the princess is like, "Oh, thank you." And she opens the box, and she kind of like, her eyes widen, and then she like lifts out of it like this like bondage looking lingerie, like leather harness and stuff. And she's like, "Wonderful. This is great." And then she starts to laugh a little bit. And Lady Cosima is like, so taken aback, and she's like, let's put that oh goodness, let's put that away. And then another guest comes up and she's like, actually, I have something that might go along with that. And then she hands another present, and now people have brought like all of these different like weird like sex potions and like lingerie and sex toys and stuff like that. Like, people have brought these very, very, very intense presents for the bride, and she just, as time goes on, she just laughs more and more. And she's like, well, this is definitely not what I was expecting, but thanks, guys, thanks. You know, I'm getting a little hot. I think I'm gonna go freshen up a bit. And she smiles at everybody and kind of heads out. And she is blushing slightly as you see her leave. So now people are kind of just waiting around for her to return. Is there anything you guys would like to do? Anyone you would like to talk to, Lanny or Hilrana?
Well, this is an interesting kind of predicament because I don't know how much people would talk to me. Since I'm like a servant?
Yeah. Well, in the moment of like pause, Lady Mirabelle, the one who had been super into the music, has come back over, and she's kind of lingering near you a bit.
Oh, hello again. Was your name Mirabelle? Oh. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm Lady Mirabelle Bordeaux, and who are you, the lovely and talented musician?
Oh.
I would love to know your name.
My name's Laniver Faris. It's nice to meet you,
Laniver,
Miss Bordeaux.
Thank you. That's such an unusual name. Where are you from?
Oh, well, I'm not from around here. I'm from. Looking at my character notes. Give me a second. I'm from Toria.
Toria. Oh, of course, yes. I thought, yes, wonderful.
A few hundred miles to the east. Also very mountainous.
I've never been, but I've heard it's quite lovely there, and they have a lot of very talented and interesting people there. And if you're any indication, then I'm quite impressed.
Oh, thank you. So how do you know the princess?
Oh, we're cousins.
I see. Have you been enjoying yourself?
Oh, yes. This music has just been so wonderful, and I found myself entranced by just the way your fingers move across the strings, and it's just breathtaking.
Well, thank you. I'm not sure what to say. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. And do you think that the other guests are enjoying themselves? I know that Duchess Cosima seemed a little concerned.
Yes, it has been. I mean, I hate to say anything rude, but it has been a bit dull up until the more racy gifts, but I believe that your music definitely has helped. It's definitely helped me find this evening more enjoyable.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Well, I see my sister Teresa glaring at me. I should probably get back over there, but it's been a pleasure. Maybe if I have a party or something, I could hire you to come and perform. I would really love to hear you play again.
Oh, I would love that. Here, we do have a card, so you can get in touch with us if you need to.
Yeah.
Let me give you one. Keith, could you?
Oh, yeah, sure. And he kind of like digs around his pockets and he pulls out like a half-eaten like granola bar type thing, and he's like, oh no. And then he finally finds one that's kind of like bent a little bit. He's like, sorry, I'm so sorry. He brushes the crumbs off of it and hands it to you.
Thank you. Here you are, Lady Mirabelle.
Oh, wonderful. And her hand, as she takes it from you, kind of like her fingertips linger a little bit as she touches it, but then she pulls away and smiles at you a little bit and then walks away. Meanwhile, in this pause, the halfling woman who gave the harness to the princess, has come over to you, a Lady Amber, and says, I heard of Lady Amber's beauty, but I didn't know that she would be so exotic looking. I hope that's not offensive.
Only if you mean it as a compliment, then it's a compliment.
It's offensive if it's a compliment?
I mean,
because I definitely meant it as a compliment.
No, if it's a compliment, then it's a compliment. I won't be offended by it.
Yeah, your hair is really interesting. I thought that Lady Amber was supposed to have more of like a curl to her hair. But I guess people were wrong.
Oh, you mean like this? And then her hair curls up.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. How did you do that?
Oh, it's just a little trick I know.
Do you know magic? I've always wanted to study, but my parents won't let me.
Of course. Well, only really nature-based things. You see, my father's a Genesee, and my mother is a, I can't remember the word right now. What is she?
A satyr?
A satyr, yes.
Wait, I thought that Lady the Countess Theron was, she like looks at you.
Okay, well, I'll let you in on a little secret.
Please do.
I'm not Lady Amber.
Really?
Well, I'm not Lady Amber, that's a secret.
Oh.
Yes. I got her invitation and I thought, well, I got the invitation. I am distantly related to the prince, so I thought I would just stop in and kind of see what my distant family's been up to. I don't mean any harm. I just thought it would be fun.
Make a persuasion check for me.
12.
She looks at you. She looks a bit concerned. And she's like, well, I won't tell anyone, but that is kind of funny.
I know. I like I said, I'm not here to hurt anyone. I just thought it would be fun. I'm just visiting my father in town and we got the invitation and thought I'd just check out. I heard there was free food, so.
Oh yeah. Did you like the food?
Yes, I cannot turn down a buffet.
Oh no, me either. Sometimes I wish that I could. But like my parents always told me, like, if there's food, you need to eat. And so I kind of live my life that way. But
that was a very interesting gift that you gave to the princess. Very
did you like
too.
that? Yeah. It's an inside joke that I have with her.
Oh. Well, I very much enjoyed the looks on the faces of all the other guests.
Yes, I did too. It was pretty great. So you guys can continue to speak. Some time passes, and then more time passes. People start to get a little bit restless. And then Lady Jalessa Spear says, I think I'm going to go check and make sure she's okay. She's been gone an awfully long time. And she leaves. And then you hear like a gasp from down the hallway towards where the restrooms would be. And she races back in and she says, The guards, they've all been knocked out. The princess, she wasn't in the bathroom. She wasn't there. I found this note, but that was all. I haven't read it, but oh my god, she's gone. So back at the bachelor party, things are pumping. This is a sweet, sweet time. Right now on the stage is Saffron Starlight. She's a half-elf woman who's very, very pear-shaped and just has like hips that are amazing. And she's doing kind of a lively number where she keeps using like little bits of prestidigitation and magic to change her kind of like the appearance of her clothing and like reveal a little bit more each time and change the color of her hair and her eyes. I guess that would be thaumaturgy, but she keeps kind of like shifting things up to make things like to hit accent with the music, and then eventually gets to her kind of finale of her routine, and people, it's pretty great, and people are clapping and cheering and hooting and hollering, and Prince Sono the loudest, so super excited, right in front of the stage, and next to him is Prince Grant, who's like clapping and like has this look of just like his eyes are kind of really wide and just slightly terrified, maybe like intrigued but also terrified. And Prince Sono's like, come on, let's get you another drink, Grant. This is I told you this was gonna be a good night. And Grant's like, yes, this has been very interesting, thanks.
Oh, baby.
And he just kind of like looks down at the floor and follows him over to the bar. What are you guys up to?
Well, Miles would like to take the time to introduce himself to the Prince,
of course,
Sono and Theron. So I guess if there's an opportunity when they're coming up to the bar.
Yeah, they're going up to the bar right now.
All right. Well, okay. As I see them approaching the bar, I guess I'll wave to the bartender and I'll be like, two of the oh gosh, what's a drink name? 2 Sex on the Beaches.
I knew that's what you picked.
Yes, perfect. 2 Sex on the Beaches.
And then, you know, when the bartender brings it over, I will hand the drinks over to them and I'll be like, my lords.
Thanks. Wait. Greetings. I don't know you, but are you a friend of Captain Maxwell?
I am indeed. My name is Miles Gloriosus. It is a pleasure to meet the both of you. I do hope that you're enjoying this fine party that I've arranged for you.
Are you the one that brought all this stuff? Oh my God. And he just like clasps your hands and like claps you on the back a little bit. He's like, this is fucking amazing, man. I thought I was planning something good. I thought like this is gonna be a nice evening, but this took it to the next level. And he's just smiling with so much glee, and Grant is just like, oh God, you're the one that made it like this kind of look on his face.
Jeremy was very particular. He said he wanted it to be a night to remember, and so I pulled out all the stops. I got all of my favorite things. And I do hope you're enjoying yourselves. I do have a gift for Prince Grant, if you would be so kind to accept it.
Is this like something you guys do in your culture? He like looks over to Sono and he is like, is this like, I didn't know I was supposed to get gifts. Was I supposed to get everybody else a gift? Like,
no.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, this... As the host, I would love to, or as the planner, this is a little token of my appreciation, and it's in my country. It is a symbol of fertility, and so we bestow this to the bachelor the night before the wedding, as you will, in hopes that it will be fruitful. And so I'll hand him a small box.
Sono has like this look of pure glee and delight across his face, like this is better than he could have ever imagined. And you hand it and he's like, oh, thanks, to Grant, and he kind of opens it up. And what is inside?
It's a butt plug.
Yes!
But it is beautiful. It's very elegant. It's the most elegant butt plug you've seen. Probably
very nice.
Made of some kind of smooth obsidian with maybe a few smooth jewels on it. Nothing that would tear you up, but just a little bit of rigidity.
He picks it up and he's like, this is so what is this? Is like a paperweight? Like, is this it's nice stone. I appreciate the gesture, thank you. And Sono just like is crying laughing next to him. He's like, that's a really nice gift. You should show it to Celeste and
yes, it is for both to enjoy.
And he's like, is there something dirty about this? I don't understand.
There's nothing dirty about fertility.
Okay. Thanks. I guess I'll put it in my office.
No, sir. This is for your anus. I promise it's a little bit uncouth to say it out loud, of course, but it is very highly prized in my culture, and it is quite fun.
He like
for both
puts
parties.
it back in the box and closes the lid really fast and just like shoves it in his pocket, and he's like, thanks, and he just walks away and goes and sits down and like looks at the floor. Actually, no, he walks away and he kind of heads over towards, he just happens upon your booth, Faris, as he kind of tries to scurry away. Your little alcove, rather.
Oh, come in. Let me tell you.
Is there anybody else in here? Can I just sit in here for a minute? Is
sure.
that cool with you?
In. Yeah. What's your name, Sugar?
Oh, I'm Grant.
Oh, Prince Grant?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Well, you look a little overwhelmed, so
yeah,
just sit down.
Maybe just a little. This is a lot.
Yeah.
I thought I was just like going to get like a drink or something. Then Sona was like, "Oh, we have this traditional party that we're gonna throw for you," and I'm trying not to be rude, but like this is a lot.
Yeah, it's a bit much if you're not used to this kind of thing. And just looking at the party planner, honey, this is a good party if you're into this sort of thing. Well, so I saw he gave you a little gift. What was that, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, it was just a paperweight.
Oh, that's odd. I think he would do something a little more daring.
I don't know him, and it's a paperweight.
Okay. Well, it's awfully pretty.
Thanks. I'm gonna put it in my office and never look at it again.
Oh, honey. Well, do you want me to tell your fortune?
Yeah. And he kind of like he kind of straightens himself up a little bit. He's like, yeah, of course, if that's what's done, yeah, definitely. You can do my fortune.
Sure. Let me see your palm.
Yeah, he gives you his hand. It's very sweaty.
Oh, Sugar, you're a little nervous. Well, I see a very long love line. That's good. I also see a very long lifeline. So I think you're going to have a long, happy, healthy life with your beautiful princess.
Thank you. That really means a lot to me. That's what I'm hoping for.
And look, you just got to get through the next couple of hours. I know this isn't your scene, but maybe just sit close to the performance stage and just look at the performers' little shoulders. It'll make it look like you're watching them without you seeing anything you don't want to see.
Oh my, that's such good advice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's like my parents are really strict, and they like I've never like that. She was on the stage and she like I could see it's just a lot.
It is a lot. Now, I like a lot, but I mean, we're all different.
I mean, I liked it, but like I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for the fortune. I'm gonna go look at people's shoulders.
That. It'll still look like you're having a good time and that you're happy, but you're not gonna get yourself freaked out. And hey, anytime you need to come in here and just take a break, I'll tell your fortune again. And your fortune is gonna be that people are leaving you alone for a few minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And he smiles like he has a genuine smile for the first time you've probably seen tonight. And he's like, he looks handsome when he smiles. He's just been so terrified the whole time that he's looked a bit more weird.
Oh, baby.
Anyway, so he goes back and he sits in front of the stage and kind of looks at the shoulder. And you see at this point someone come out onto stage that's kind of been introducing the different performers, and he says, up next is a special performance just for Prince Grant, the groom-to-be. It's a special performer selected by Prince Sono himself, and he just hopes that you enjoy it and have the best evening ever. And out onto the stage comes this, like, thick half-orc woman, like, with all this, like, amazing jewelry all over her, and she just is like so ripped. And she comes out into the stage and she's doing this performance that's like a striptease, and she's right in front of him and she has like her eyes like locked with him the entire time. And it's like of like, it's depending on who you are, it could be very sexy or it could be terrifying. And anytime he starts to like look at his shoulder and she reaches out and she grabs his chin and like pulls it to look like directly at her chest. And he's like, oh God. And Prince Sono is clapping in delight.
Oh, okay. Faris is feeling really bad for him. So she's going to kind of run up and sort of sit beside him and, pat his leg like it's okay. He
like reaches out a hand and like squeezes into your hand like, oh my God, what is happening? What are you doing, Melis? How do you feel about this?
I am a little jealous.
Okay.
I'm like, I thought we had a vibe going on, but now you're patting this other guy's leg. What's up with that?
What's up with that? Perfect.
He's just gonna stay at the bar though, and maybe like flex if she happens to look over. Like,
okay.
Oh, she's looking over.
Yeah. So you look over, you feel kind of the pressure of your hand release, and this half-orc woman has finished her routine, kind of smothering Grant's face in her chest.
Oh boy.
And then he looks like Sono kind of claps, and Grant is like, thanks, this is great. And then he's like, I gotta go. I'll be back. And he rushes out of the room. He kind of rushes out towards kind of the back of the building and to like go get some fresh air.
Well, I'm gonna tell Soto, like, maybe go check on your cousin. Are they cousins?
Yeah.
I forgot.
No, they're not cousins. They're he's the brother of the bride.
The princess. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say maybe go check on him in a few minutes, and then I'm going to go to the bar towards Melis.
Perfect. Okay.
Oh, sugar, where did you find that one? Looking at the performer.
What's her name? Do we know? Is this one of mine?
Oh, I forgot to tell you when she went on the stage. Her name is Candy Crush.
Oh my God.
Yes, Candy Crush. She's quite lascivious.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Now, she could crush my candy any old time, but poor little Grant, he was about to die.
He did seem rather uncomfortable, especially I fear I offended him with my present.
Yeah, the paperweight.
That's what he kept calling it. That's not its primary function.
Yeah, I don't think it's so either. But maybe he's just shy. Maybe he's inexperienced. And, maybe if he had some gentle help in knowing what to do with your paperweight, maybe he'd enjoy it.
I can certainly educate him if he is open to that.
Oh, I bet you can.
You seem to be getting along with him quite well as yourself.
Oh, don't worry about that. He's sort of like a puppy. But you, my friend, you're like a stallion.
I've been told that quite a few times.
I'm sure you have.
Don't mind being ridden either.
Oh, my. Well, let me find a saddle.
Oh, my God.
I have my own bridle. And a whip.
Oh. Well,
you can ride me as hard as you want.
Oh, my God.
I think I'm going to tell my own fortune, and my love line is looking really deep tonight.
You guys are flirting heavily at the bar, and Prince Sono comes back inside. Prince Grant, there were he's like, he has part of his shirt is like ripped, and he has like a cut across his cheek, and he's like, they took him, the brigands, they came out into the alleyway and they attacked and they took Prince Grant.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to the whole podcast. Wow, thank you. It means a lot to us that you listened all the way through. And if for some reason you didn't and you're waking up from a stupor at the sound of my voice at the end of the podcast, well, thanks for that too, I guess. You made it all the way through and maybe you'll wake up and listen to it again and see if you like it or not. We're so appreciative of you. We're brand new baby podcasters, and we're already working on getting better audio equipment so that hopefully everybody can have nice, clear, crisp sound. So stay tuned for that. It won't be for the next couple of episodes, but just hang in there. We promise that our audio will get better. You may have noticed at the beginning of the episode that we introduced our characters, but we didn't go over who the actual player is. So Laniver is played by Sara. Hilrana is played by Deserae. Faris is played by Holly. And Miles is played by Lauren. And of course, I'm your Dungeon Master, Emily. Our theme song is Neon Laser Horizon by Kevin MacLeod. You can find more information about that song and all of the songs that you heard in today's episode in the episode description. If you liked what you heard, or you are intrigued at least a little bit, we would love for you to share the episode with somebody who you think might also like it. Maybe give us a like or a review on whatever podcatcher you're using, or just go ahead and check us out on social media. Interact with us. We would love to hear from you. All the information for that can be found in the episode description. Thanks again for listening, and we hope that you're ready to continue rolling for romance.